Okay. How many questions are you going to ask?
Well, you're not answering any of them.
Well, I'm trying to think about it.
Well, answer
I'll give
quicker.
you a good answer.
Do
Don't
it
rush
a lot
me.
faster.
I've seen a deer.
Okay.
I noticed that you're getting in better shape. What the fuck are you doing?
Dieting.
I know, but you've done that like since I've known you. You know, I thought I was extreme.
I'm not extreme. I just
Well, I know we never think we are, but let me tell you something. You are. I actually
'cause I'm learning it from you.
Well, I actually didn't help you in the first time that I think that you got in the best shape ever.
Was extreme.
That was extreme.
You taught me the ways. No, I haven't gone that extreme yet.
So why don't you give us like an insight into your mind, because you're not special, by the way, so don't go there.
You remind me every day.
I have to give you compliments and keep you humble all at the same time.
I understand.
Why is it? Hold on. I didn't ask the question. Why is it that you get to a certain point, since I've known you, and you're like about 90% of the people that come in here?
I'd say 98% of the people.
98% of the people. Why is it? Why the fuck is it that when you're going really well, you get to a certain point and you self-sabotage? Why do you and 98% of the people do that?
Well, I can't speak for the 98%, but I feel that this is why they may be doing it as well. I hit like my first goal. And then once I get to that goal, I feel really good about myself. I'm really confident and I'm wearing certain things and it's all going well. And then I'm like, you know what? You've worked so hard to get here. It's okay to just enjoy your body a little bit, not be so strict. And so, you know, if I go to a pool party or something, it's like, oh, I don't have to count my calories with the alcohol, or I'm going to have a burger. It won't hurt me if I do this one time. Well, then that one time turns into like another time and then another time. And then I'm like, oh, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I won't gain too much. I'll just do this and I'll go back. And then you just get caught up in it. And then before you know it, you're back at, you gained 5 pounds again. Now you got to do it all over again.
Okay. So this has been a reoccurring, since I've known you, this has been reoccurring.
Yes.
There's always something that comes up.
But difference is I've learned from those mistakes. And so now I know what I do. Like I know that that's what I do. So
you haven't come up with this.
I have.
What's the solution?
So I found this online challenge called 75 Hard. And I thought it was perfect because I found it around this time when I was like, I'm at that point where I'm really comfortable in my skin. And this is when I fall off. If I'm going to do it, it's going to be at this time. So I found 75 Hard, and you start the challenge and you have to go 75 days completing these certain rules that they have. And it's supposed to make you stronger mentally. And like, for example, you have to do 2 workouts, 45-minute workouts. One has to be outside, which is perfect for me because I've been running and I really enjoy running. So I do my running, my regular workout, and then you have to drink a gallon of water. You have to read 10 pages of a book. You have to take progress pictures every day. So you have to do this checklist. And if you miss it, then you have to start all over again. You have to just do 75 days consecutively. So I decided to start that around this point. So that would be my extra motivation.
Here's my question to you based on what you're saying to me. Why you're a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're professing this to your clientele. So why do you have to find something that's all it's doing is holding you accountable like you're holding your client accountable? I don't think you're fixing the problem is what I'm trying to say to you. Because you know this, and yet you're finding something else. See, to me, it almost feels like I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Go for it.
An asshole, because I do a good job of that.
Go for it.
I just lost my train of thought. I'm going to say that you haven't fixed this problem that you have at the root, because just that's a shiny object, what you got there. Oh, 75 days. It's a challenge. You're probably going to win something too, right?
No.
Okay.
It's a challenge within yourself.
Okay. And
so the only one that holds you accountable is yourself.
Okay. So, but you're already doing that with your clientele. I would think just being a low level, washed up personal trainer from the past, I would think that since you're professing this shit all day to your clientele and you're going through the same thing with them, that you would have come up with a solution for them, and yet you haven't come up with one for yourself. You're like that fucking shrink that I went to that had more problems than I did, and they were more bitter than I was, and still am.
Not accurate. Because see, I was doing this, but I never realized what I was doing. I never realized that that's what I was doing. I didn't realize that once I got to my goal, I was super comfortable in my skin, and then I fell off. I never realized that that's what was happening until the last time that it happened. And then I reevaluated, and I was like, what the heck happened? Like, I was doing so good. And then I remember, okay, you were really enjoying your body, and you just lost track. Well, I've noticed a lot of my clients will get to that point as well. And when they do get to that point, I kind of pull them aside, and I tell them, like, okay, now it's time to regroup, as if we're starting at the very beginning again. Because they're starting to fall off, they're starting to get comfortable. I explain that I've done the same thing multiple times. That is how you come up with the solution. That is the solution, to acknowledge the problem, know it, and then work to get through it.
I'm going to add something.
In my opinion. And I don't need the 75 hard, but I did find it around the time that this was happening, and I started it, and it was like, oh, well, I started it, and it's going to work out.
I have a solution.
Your solution may not be my solution.
Matters not. I still have one. I have just more of a opinion or a comment with regard to what you're saying.
Okay, go for it.
I'm listening to your words. Because if you listen to people talk, okay, what they say verbally and non-verbally are two different things.
You've taught me that.
60% of what you're telling to me is non-verbal. So why don't you just, instead of when you get to that point, it's already too late. When you get to that point and say, okay, now I've got to regroup and start over, as opposed to being ahead of the game. In other words, you already know, because it's pretty common with people. I mean, even like somebody like myself who's in the bodybuilding forever, I hated most of it. It was a hate love relationship. I will tell you that. I love the end result of it, but I hated. And it was a struggle every time I did a workout. It wasn't fun. It was fucking not fun in the gym. And it never is if you're working at that level. If you're having fun in the gym, you're not getting results. That's all there is to it. It's not fun. It's not a fun place. So I just think that when you get to that point, it's kind of like we talked about one time when I was dehydrated on a cold day. Instead of being proactive and still hydrating when I was riding my bicycle for 100 miles, I waited until it actually happened, and then I crashed. And that's exactly what most people do. Yeah. And so my suggestion is be proactive. Already have that already in place. It's kind of like when you go to an example, go shopping. I don't know if you shop. You're one of these new breed of women that do none of that. But when you go shop for food, if you shop with a list instead of just going in when you're hungry, you're going to come out with a different outcome. Would you agree with that? Yeah. Okay. So I just think that you're just waiting too long. And I don't know if you're doing this.
But that's you also assuming that I am at that point and I'm not being proactive and doing it beforehand, which I am, because I haven't broke the diet. Normally I would break the diet for like a week and then I'd be like, oh my gosh, I've totally fallen off. I haven't fallen off at all.
And I just think that what you should do is just really compete and just say no excuses.
With all these stupid mask rules now, that's ridiculous.
With all the excuses, you can still do like a virtual. I still think that they're doing that.
For me though, a competition, I'm not really doing that for myself because I don't need the competition. That would be like hey, get yourself in a competition and then you're really going to follow through and do this. I just want to have a certain body for myself.
That's a lot of people say that, but
that's my goal.
I think that in my mind, you should just set that goal. Get up on stage, because that'll get you in the very best shape of your life, which will change everything. It'll change your physiology. But it sounds to me like you're one of those that don't really want to take that extra step. It's normal.
I think for me, I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and I'm not going to make it a work yet. I'm not going to make it where I have to do it. I'm doing it because I want to do it, not because I have to. I don't want to switch it like that yet, because I think once I switch it like that, I'm probably not going to get it back.
Ooh, that's negative.
No, think about it. You just said it.
What?
You said that when you went into the gym, it was not fun. And
No.
if you're doing it right, it's not fun. Well, I'm going to tell you, when I train, I get pretty pissed off. Like, I get mad at the weights because it just hurts. And I'm pushing myself, and it's like, and then I'm getting mad at, like, I'm suffering because I choose to suffer. So I get, like, kind of angry. I don't like talking to people when I train. So I know that I'm not really having fun, but the feeling that I get when I walk out the doors is a really great feeling. And it's because I'm doing it. I want to do it. I put myself in that situation because I have certain goals for myself, and not because I have goals for competition or to win over a judge. And I feel like once I do that, it's going to start becoming work.
If you were to look at a photo of all these fake Instagram stars.
How are they fake when they look amazing? You can't pay for that body.
I know.
It's hard work.
Okay, the ones that you've showed me before, these gals are in fantastic condition. Like, you want to aspire to that. They're a beautiful body, but yet what you're telling me right now is that you don't want to aspire to that beautiful body because you have your own reasons for it.
No,
and
I want to reach that body.
And yet I've never seen you show me a body of the person that you think is a beautiful body ever be anything less than in fantastic shape, competition ready.
What? There's a lot. What are you talking about? There are so many that don't compete and have really great bodies. That's what I want.
You get my point. They may not be competing, but it's a competition-looking body, whether it be bikini.
Oh, yes. No, definitely.
But yeah, you're saying that that's not something that you want. You see where you're sending a mixed message.
No, I said I don't want to compete. I want that body, but I don't really want to I don't need to get on stage for that.
I think you do, actually.
Sounds like a personal opinion, and I didn't ask for it.
Well, I mean, but just think about it. Have you done it yet? You've had lots of years to get in that kind of condition.
Exactly.
What the fuck are you waiting for?
I have
another pandemic.
No, I have had my fails like every other person, and it's made me a better trainer because of it. So I don't regret it. I'm still learning as I go, and I'm going to continue to learn. I mean, you're still learning.
How do you know I'm learning?
Oh, because I see you Googling stuff and digging deep into something that you hear, or somebody tells you something and you like dig deep into Google. I see you learning over there still. So yeah, I'm going to get that body, but it's not going to be to get on the freaking stage.
When? Give me a date. You don't have to compete anymore. Just tell me
how
when.
fast can I get to that body? I mean, I could think of 3 months I could be there.
90 days.
Yeah. So I'm giving myself that's 75 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get in that kind of shape?
Well, whatever shape my body can get into in 75 days.
It can get in competition shape ready.
Okay, then I guess
because you're not that far off.
Okay, then competition ready in 3 months.
So you're making a commitment here on the camera for the whole world to see?
Yes, I am. You don't believe me. It's okay. If I were you, I wouldn't believe me either. Because I have done the same thing over and over again. But the difference is, I now know my mistake. I acknowledge it. And I'm going to overcome it.
Okay, see, what's 90 days from now? 75 days is not enough for you to get in that kind of shape.
Oh.
90 days, definitely. 90
days from now would be July, August, September, October. What's the day we're on? October.
We're at 20. July.
So
okay,
around
October 20.
Halloween.
Okay, October 20. Okay, we're going to come back and revisit this and see where you're at.
October 20. You want to circle it on the calendar?
You better circle on yours.
Okay. Sounds good. Hey, on another note, because we totally went off. How did we even get to this topic? Over the weekend, you said you had some different stuff that you did. I actually did do something that was really amazing over the weekend.
Do tell.
I went hiking with my son, and we ran into a deer. And I mean, this deer wasn't far away. It was like crossing trails, and I came behind a bush, and it was like, bam, right there. And yeah, it was actually really cool. And then I told my son to come up to me like very carefully, and he was like walking real slow, and then he saw the deer, And he was like, wow, that is so amazing. So it was the first time he's seen it that close. Like we've seen them, you know, if you're driving or something. And then we started to walk away to kind of give it some space. And then in the brush, a little brush started like shaking, and we thought it was a snake or something. And then a freaking baby deer pops up. I mean, a legit baby deer. It was the tiniest thing I've ever seen, and it had little white dots on it. It was a really great experience. I've never seen a baby deer. Have you? Don't lie.
I don't know. I don't.
You've probably seen a deer. Have you shot a deer? Have you hunted?
Okay. How many questions are you going to ask?
Well, you're
Have
not
I seen
answering
it?
any of them.
Well, I'm trying to think about it.
Well, answer
I'll give
quicker.
you a good answer.
Do
Don't
it a
rush
lot
me.
faster.
I've seen a deer.
Okay.
Have I shot one? Have I hunted? I've shot it. No, I have never shot a deer.
Okay.
But I have hunted
Oh, okay. What have you hunted?
blackbirds.
Oh my gosh. Does that even
Well, you
count?
don't think that's legit?
Do you eat them?
I did it with a fucking BB gun. That's not easy to do. You got to hit them right in the head, right between the eyes. Or you know what they say?
Oh.
When you hit them in the body, they fly off and they laugh at you. It bounces off their body.
Oh my gosh.
Unless you're shooting them like 2 feet away.
You don't eat them,
I was
though.
shooting them in the wire, on the high wire. That's how good I was. With a BB gun, a fucking BB gun.
How old are you?
Now?
No, how old were you?
One moment, please. I was in high school
Okay, I was
on
gonna
the
say,
dairy.
Man, did you have BB gun when you were like 6, 7 years old?
No, too early.
That's what I thought.
No, I was already in high school.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I used to shoot blackbirds with a BB gun.
Interesting. I don't think I have the heart to do that. I don't think I could do it. I really don't. I really don't think I could.
Like you, becoming a better trainer, I became a better sharpshooter, shooting and learning how to kill something with a BB gun. Like I said, there's no room for error.
Yes.
You know, because the BB gun just.
Do you think you could shoot a deer?
Yes. I don't know about
That
now.
took you a while.
I don't know. Well, because I could back then, but I don't think I can now.
Why?
I think it's because it's based on the fact that I'm getting closer to my own mortality or immortality. Which one would that be? No, I'm getting closer to my mortality.
Yeah.
And somehow that translates over to I feel for the bugs now. Even. In fact, I haven't killed a fly since I wrote a book called "Why Are You Pissing Me Off, Fly?" That's still on the shelf.
That flies still piss me off. You know, write a book about mosquitoes. I want to know about those little fuckers.
Ooh.
They suck.
Yeah, literally.
They really do. They suck.
Yeah, they do.
So bad.
I think they carry a lot of dis-ease.
Dis-ease?
Yeah. No, but
Well, they cause me a lot of.
there's some mosquitoes right now out there that are like pretty brutal.
Man, they're like biting me through my clothes.
Yeah, that's what I said. They're pretty brutal. I mean, no. Ever since I learned about the fly, how good they are for our ecosystem, and I didn't realize how amazing a fly is. And you know what the bummer is? They only live 3 days as a fly.
Thank God.
Maybe that's what some
we have enough of them.
Well, I think that's humans should only live a certain amount of days because they get off their ass and do shit instead of being lazy and procrastinate. It's like, fuck, I've only got 5 days to live.
Oh my gosh, no. I think once you're a parent, no. Before I had my kid, I'd be probably like, ah. But now that I have a kid, nah. Does any of that make sense?
Sure.
I want to stay alive forever.
Did you know? Well, you will. In people's minds.
Yes, I understand.
Did you know that a fly? You know how flies stick upside down on a wall?
I'm sure they have stickiness on their feet.
I told you that.
No, I'm
you
just
didn't
assuming.
know that. That's bullshit.
It's like Spider-Man.
They have like a sticky shit on their feet.
They have to, like spiders and Spider-Man.
They hang upside down.
Yeah. Have you seen Spider-Man?
Like in person?
Oh my gosh, no.
Oh, you mean the cartoon?
Yeah.
Oh, a movie?
Yeah.
No.
They're like little, yeah, he's like sticky on his hands and his feet.
A fly's like that.
Yeah.
Did you know that a fly can only see like 5 feet in front of them?
I feel like that's a lot of feet for a fly.
But they can smell shit 8 to 10 miles away.
Does it have to be shit?
Well, just something that's dead.
Is that what they're attracted to? Dead, raunchy shit?
I don't really know now.
You wrote the book.
I know, but I can't remember the details of it. But they can smell rotten stuff like 8 to 10 miles away, but they can only see 5 feet in front of them. Don't you find that a little fascinating?
Yeah.
And they have kaleidoscope. They have 360 vision. You don't
That's
look
why
like,
it's so
you
hard
don't look
to
like
catch
you're really
them.
interested. What?
That's why it's so hard to catch them.
Yeah.
I feel like they can see my hand. But I'm like, oh, no, it's just my shadow.
No, they can.
Or I tell myself it's my shadow that they can see, or the wind. Because, you know, when you do it with your hand, there's no, like, area for the wind to go through. I mean, it's like a hollow.
So you think like in their ears, they can hear that shit coming from a mile
No,
away?
I feel like they can feel it. No, I feel like they can feel it. Any little change around their stupid little space that they have.
Do you know that the minute that they land on your food, they're throwing up and eating? The second, the very second
That's
that they,
gross.
I know.
So if they land on your lip for a second?
Well, I don't think they're trying to eat your lip, okay? But the food, the very second that they land, I've seen this in slow motion. They throw up and eat at the same time.
You've seen it in slow motion?
Yeah. When I was
Oh.
writing this thing, I saw a fly on what they do, like in slow motion. They're
Hey.
shitting and they're throwing up and they're eating all at the same time on your food.
Uh,
Have you ever heard of the expression "shoe fly"? Don't bother me.
Yeah.
That's why.
What's your book called?
Hey fly, why are you pissing me off? And ever since that day, I have not killed a fly. I wrote that book. It's still on the shelf. It's doing nothing there, like a bunch of other ones are.
We're going to have to just show little clips of it on
But-
Instagram.
But ever since that, and I learned other things from them that made me think, you know, I shouldn't be killing this disgusting fly that's shitting and pissing all over my food.
Oh,
Because they
definitely
actually
kill it.
have more upside than downside, believe it or not. Why are you looking at your phone?
it's going off. I wanted to make sure it wasn't an important
It's
work
not
call.
when you're talking with me.
Actually, it is.
I'm the most important thing. But ever since then, can't do it. Yeah, and they've
Have you
landed.
tried?
Yeah, they've landed on me, and they're pissing me off. I just can't do it.
Hey, you want to know a fun fact about flies?
Yeah.
My son is the #1 fly catcher in the world. No, really. Can you catch a fly with your hand?
Yeah.
Every time?
No.
My son can catch a fly with his hand every single time. Here, let me just elaborate on that. Let me say it again. Every single time. And you know, if there's like 3 of them in the house at once, I will flat out tell him, these flies are pissing me off. Can you please get them? And he'll be like, okay. He will go catch every single one.
You sound like that parent that thinks their kids are like all stars.
No,
like
no.
Your kid is a fly all-star
I
catcher.
was that shocked. The first time he did it, he was like, look, Mom, I caught a
don't buy
fly. Listen, he was like, look, Mom, I caught a fly. And I didn't believe it. So I was like, no, you didn't. He was like, yeah, I did. And he had it in his hand. And he was like, look. So he gets close to my face. And I thought this was going to be like a joke. And then he opened his hand and it really did fly out. And I was like, oh, crap. Like you really did catch it. So then he goes and catches it again to show me that he caught it. And then from that point on, I'd be
So
like,
based on the fact that he's caught 3 flies,
no, he's caught them multiple times since then. I'd say he's
and
probably
he's never
caught.
missed.
He's probably caught
He's
at
never
least 15 for sure. Like that's just
missed. So
for
he's
a
like
fact.
15 for 15.
Yes. Yes. And then one of them, he tried to catch it and it fell underneath the bed. And then he had to go underneath the bed to get it.
So he caught it in the dark.
Well, we were using the flashlight on my phone. Because you know when you go to sleep and sometimes there's flies like stuck in your windows?
Never.
What?
I don't have flies in my window.
Okay, well, sometimes when I go to sleep, there's like
do
a
you
fly.
live near a barn or
No,
dairy?
listen, but we have the door open a lot, like the front door, and the kids go in and out. So I was trying to go to sleep, and I could hear this one fly. This is the most recent one that he's caught. And I was like, Liam, he was laying down. I was like, can you get that fly? Like, I cannot sleep with that fly in here. He was like, okay. And he just got up. And he was like, can you use the flashlight and show me where it is? And I was like, it's right there. It's right there. He caught the fly. And I laughed so hard because I was like, I can't even believe it. I don't know how he does it. But he is in Taekwondo, so I think he's just a little ninja in the making.
I don't know why, but this little story that you're telling me reminds me of I was married to the first one.
Uh-huh.
And we used to have like in the porch, single story house. And to get up into the attic, you could push that roof up. You know what I'm talking about?
In a porch?
And it's in the house, but it was on the porch, not porch, but the service room.
Okay.
Where the
like laundry.
Yeah,
stuff
laundry
is?
room.
Yes, okay.
And there's a little door up there where you could.
Attic.
Attic.
Yeah.
So one night, we came home from being like out at dinner or something like that. Walked in the back door, because we always walked in the back door because it was connected to the garage.
Uh-huh.
And walked in, and for some reason I looked up. I never look up, but I looked up, and the door had been slid over. It wasn't on the thing.
Oh my gosh.
And I had never been up in the attic, and I asked, what's her name at the time? I said, did you go up? Did you move it? No. I said, well, I didn't. Can you imagine being in a house, and what would you think if your door was slid over like that?
Oh, I'd immediately think that somebody was in the house,
Right?
went up there, or
Yeah.
came down from there.
Exactly.
That or a ghost.
Well, I think that house was haunted.
Yeah. I believe in that.
Nope. Nobody died in the house, but I think it was haunted. Just because of all the shit I used to hear all the time, and just things just like, and I wasn't like, I was sober.
What would you hear?
Just, it would sound like, and which is probably what it was, but it was probably mice in the, they get in
Yep.
in between the wall, and
Yeah, I've heard.
because I lived out there, kind of out in the country, so that was plausible. But some of that stuff was like, man, that doesn't sound like a mouse. Anyway, so, I'm not really confrontational, but I also can't stand the fact that there might be somebody up there.
Oh yeah.
So here's what old Leo did. I had a .22 pistol I never shot,
Oh.
maybe a couple times.
Okay.
So I told her, what's her name?
Uh-huh.
I said, I'm going to go up, see if there's somebody up in the attic.
First, did you check the house?
I don't remember, Karen. I'm just telling you what I remember. I got up in that damn attic. I said, just wait. And I was crawling in the attic. It was dark.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Well, when I look back now, I say, I agree. But I started climbing. I was like, I had my gun in my hand, cocked and loaded. And I'm like.
And did you have a flashlight?
No. I'm crawling like there's a little, like you can see.
Military crawl?
Yeah, you can see kind of some light.
Okay.
It's dark, but because the house light, I'm crawling like an army man. And all of a sudden, when I went to put my elbow down, I slipped. The gun went off.
Oh my God.
She's like, what's going on?
Oh my gosh.
Look, either I killed the son of a bitch that was up there, or there was no one there because nothing happened.
Oh my God.
Long story short.
That's funny.
I don't know why the fly thing
reminded
me of that.
Odd. That's crazy. Yeah,
Anyway.
You shouldn't have a gun. You must have been really nervous.
No, it's really strange. Something clicks in my brain. Can't explain it. There's been times like I would run and in my first marriage, like if there was somebody, I would you go look, I'm not. That's not very manly, is it? No. I was like that. But more than not, I something switches and I have to find out, and I'm not afraid. Why are we afraid of the dark?
I think
think
it's
about
because we can't see.
the darkness itself is not scary. We perceive it that way.
Probably because of the movies. Movies have made it that way. That's when things pop out at you. Were you scared of the dark?
Yeah.
I don't remember being scared of the dark.
Yeah. You know, when I was growing up, one of the podcasts that we did, we talked about Ethel Spittig.
Yes.
She was the female Hitler in my life. Well, my mom used to make me go out in the back alley and take the trash out at night.
Yeah, that sucks. I should ask Liam to do that. See what he says.
She must have really hated me back then.
I don't know what Liam would do. He'd probably just say no.
You know, that house I went is my insurance guy actually is in that very same house that I grew up in that I was scared to death in. This is where I had my awful, horrendous nightmare when President Kennedy got whacked.
Yes.
It was in that house.
Oh, wow.
A lot of horrific memories in that house. But my insurance guy, actually, that's his office now. I went back to that house. Kind of freaked out.
That would be weird. Man, I can't imagine going back to...
I mean, I was 1963. How old was I?
I don't know. Too young. Oh, 1963? Well, you were born in 1955.
8 years old.
Yeah.
I was 8 years old. You know how many years ago that was now? 65.
Like 60.
It's
We're
amazing.
just rounding.
It's amazing how time flies like that.
I'm sure.
How do you feel about being 30?
I'm not 30.
Well, you're close. Huh?
I still have 2 years to go.
You don't know how close you are.
I know I'm pretty close. Can
you imagine that?
I don't feel like I'm 30.
Well,
I feel like I stopped at like 24.
we all kind of do.
I feel 24.
It's amazing.
I heard that I look a lot younger.
Well, I think that I would agree with that.
I've heard that I look 18.
I wouldn't go that far.
I think maybe
Especially
with
with
my
your gray hair.
I think with my
Fucking
darker
gray hair
hair, I pulled off maybe 18.
No. Maybe. Well, on Instagram with filters and all that, maybe.
I don't use a lot of filters on Instagram.
Yeah, I'll say that.
I really didn't. I do now because it just does make
Can you imagine?
Look a lot better. But
it's different for women when you age. You know that, right?
Yeah, you keep telling me that.
Like 30 for you is like a dog being 100.
Yeah, like we're dead after 30. But you
30,
guys just keep on going
well,
and get better and better. I don't know if I would agree with that.
Life is not always fair, Carol.
I think I have seen some very beautiful older ladies.
Oh, have you?
Uh-huh.
Name one.
Actually, some of them.
Name one.
I can't because they're clients. But just like older people, they are like 30s, 40s. They still look really great.
Older people? Well, older females at 30, yes. Older males at 30 is not old. Females at 30.
I think they still look really great. You just got to stay healthy and active and moving. That's what you have to do.
How do you know that?
And you keep yourself vibrant looking. Because I think the most healthiest, good looking, still looking young kind of women that I've seen are our clients. The ones out and about. You know, some of them, they really do look their age. But I've noticed, you know, the ones that are coming here consistently. And that's what I aspire to be when I'm 40, 50.
Age is so weird.
Even with you, you're 60, 65.
65.
And I would love to be moving around like you at 65.
It's not easy.
I don't know. Sometimes you make that noise when you get out of your chair, though.
It's scary. When I sit too long, you know, it's like I'm frozen.
I feel like I get that way when my back
it's like
acts
I'm
up.
frozen.
Like when my back acts up, you know, then I do. When I stand up, it's like a... Oh.
And now even like when I get out of bed, more times than not, I get up and I first stand up and just wait for about maybe 5 seconds. Because
Really?
to be quite honest with you, it's kind of when I first get up, I'm standing up. Think about being like in a kind of a windstorm like that. My body's kind of doing this to get stable.
How about you explain it more like a robot and you're standing up and everything's locking up as it moves?
It doesn't do that. It's just simply swaying
Sway.
in the wind a little bit. And as it turns out with age, you'll find out, because you already are. Things start being taken away from you. It's the natural age, the process of aging. Shit gets taken away from you. It's a cruel joke. Whoever decided to make us, it's a cruel joke. If you believe in that. Anyway.
You know, they have pointed it out where when you're born.
Who's they?
The world, society, movies.
Oh, wow.
It's
that
just
makes
out
it
there.
legitimate.
It's out there in the universe. That, you know, we grow up and it's like, you know, we're pooping and peeing in diapers and we can't walk and we can barely talk and we, you know, you're teaching a kid the ABCs and they can't really remember it. You know, think about like a 3-year-old, 4-year-old. And if you think about it, then we hit a peak and then we do go back down and then you're back in diapers and you're back at not remembering anything and you're back at barely being able to
Full
walk.
circle.
Yeah.
You go back to fetal.
Yeah. Pretty much. I think Benjamin Buttons, there's a movie about Benjamin. It's just like that.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm not looking forward to when would be your peak? I think my peak was now.
Your peak happened a few years ago.
Bull crap. I didn't even hit half of my life. A few years ago. That would have been like 24, 22. God, no.
What I don't get, I have a term for it, but what happens to me sometimes, which is really interesting. I'll go to bed. Nothing's hurting. Really, nothing's hurting.
Yeah.
And this happens like, not just once or twice. This happens like occasionally, too many times, as far as I'm concerned. But like, for example, one example, I go to bed, everything's fine. I wake up in the morning, take a step. I have excruciating pain in my heel. Like somebody beat my heel. I mean, what did I do? I went to bed.
I think what happened is you probably did something to it prior to going to bed. And then I have heard that when you go to bed, don't quote me on this, but it was something around this nature. I heard it from a physical therapist or a chiropractor, one of those.
Are you making this shit up?
Nope. It's on YouTube. They call themselves like the most famous physical therapists or something like that. And they said that when you go to sleep, like in your back, with your vertebrae and what's in between the bones of the back?
Mush.
Yeah, but what's that mush called?
Fluid. Synovial fluid.
Yeah, okay, so that.
I believe.
They say when you lay down, like it actually like fills up again. It fills up. And
Does it fill up?
Yeah. So when you stand up, that's why people have back pain in the morning, because like all the fluid got filled up again, and then you gotta have to start moving around to get it loose. And
I call it birthday disease.
okay, but I think that's kind of like your ankle. You probably did something, then you went to sleep, and then the fluid just builds up, and then you're like, oh crap.
I call it birthday disease.
Because didn't it stop feeling that way later on in the day? Yes.
Yes.
It only hurt early in the morning when you were still moving around and getting it all loose and everything.
Now I have a trick knee.
A what?
A trick knee.
What the heck does that mean?
It'll trick me.
Like it makes you think that it's going to work and then it doesn't?
It'll give out. It'll just willy-nilly. It doesn't let me know, hey, I'm going to trick your knee and you're going to stumble.
Maybe you're just getting careless and you're starting to lose your connection to your knee.
I think it's birthday disease.
Birthday disease.
That's
going to become something now, watch.
Well, you're a fucking
You
disaster.
should write a book about birthday disease.
You're a fucking disaster right now. I see you walking around here with a back injury.
I did something stupid over the weekend.
I mean, you're hobbling around here like you're 40.
One little mistake.
Jesus.
One mistake that was 1 second of a mistake.
It's probably going to haunt you the rest of your life.
No, I think I just already have a back problem, and then I just did something to flare it up. Did you notice that the cardio equipment was not pushed back this morning?
I did. As a matter of fact, I was looking at the elliptical, thinking, what the hell? Is that thing that much longer? I never noticed. It was you.
Yeah. I moved
Should've
it to
known.
get to the mirrors, and then I think I moved down to like, I don't know, the third one. And I was lifting everything really good.
Well, you know, you were doing a man's job, and you're not a man, really.
Yeah.
Kind of a man, but you're
the
not
other
really.
man here won't do it, so.
Well, he's not really a man either.
And I was lifting it great, but then I
You
stopped.
probably were doing your, like with his client when she was doing the deadlift, do it all back instead of using legs.
I didn't do all back. I used my legs, but then a split second, I did use my back. And the only reason I know I did use it is because it did crack. And so I just put the weight down and I backed away and I was like, that's it. I'm not moving it back. I'm not moving any more out. I knew you guys would probably see it and just take care of it.
I didn't. I just, when I was doing my cardio this morning, I looked over and I never noticed that damn elliptical sticking out so far. It's irritating me.
Did Jose push it back?
I don't know.
I think I moved the
I would rather you, instead of me going crazy, risk ruining your back more and go push it back in.
No, I'll just have Jose do it now. So I'll be fine. I just need a baby.
Are you eating lunch today?
No.
Oh my God, why not? What are you doing now that's extreme?
It's the same thing. I don't eat till I get home.
You eat once a day?
Twice. I get home and I eat, and then I eat dinner. My coffee's my breakfast, and then I eat like my lunch when I get home.
Is that bug inside my drink?
Let me see.
Or was it just a bubble?
I think it's a bubble.
Oh. Okay, well, I guess we're caught up on our weekend.
Oh, yes.
And various things.
Yes. Nice little download. Start the week off.
I hope you're productive this week.
I hope you're productive this week. Don't ask me. I'm very productive every single day.
Today you make me question you, because today, like when we're going over downloading on Monday, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, if I was her downloading with me, I would be saying, okay, so here's the download. Here's what you got going. This morning you were going over things like, do you have a 10 o'clock today? Like you're questioning, like I had to know that.
No, I was telling you about your 10 o'clock. And then I write my list. And I didn't download with you because it's the same thing every Monday. My Monday protocol takes up my whole Monday.
Obviously not, because I had a meeting today that I don't normally have. And see, so my point is this. That makes me think that you're not writing it down and forgetting. So what do I turn into? A fucking nightmare recording.
You didn't say anything to me today. My Mondays, I don't really tell you a lot on my Mondays because it's the same thing. It's Monday protocol.
Okay.
And then I try to fit everything in there.
All right.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, those are days where we sit down and we actually like come up with plans. You throw things in there. I tell you what I have going on.
I see.
But Mondays, no. It's the same stuff.
I guess I haven't been paying attention.
And then I have clients Monday, so it's really, yeah, no. I think you're just a little off. You came in a little off this morning.
I have duck syndrome.
What is that?
Have you ever, obviously you haven't been around ducks as much as I have.
Probably not paying attention to them the way you do.
Have you ever noticed a duck when they first wake up in the morning? They wake up.
And they shake their little feathers?
They flap their wings,
and
they go, quack, 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 every single morning. It's like it's a brand new day. There's nothing that's bothering them. They have duck mentality, duck syndrome, where they just don't have any baggage that carries with them from one day to the next.
Are you sure that's not a yawn?
I'm positive. This is a duck.
I know, but can't that duck just be yawning?
Brand new day, every single day. Whatever happened yesterday, and apparently, to answer your question, the reason why I'm off, because I can't let go of shit. Obviously. Am I babbling?
Oh, I get it.
Ketchup.
Like you're
ketchup mustard.
You're bringing your baggage to the
Monday.
That makes sense.
And then on top of that, because I eat up, and
yeah.
I eat up, and I tend to eat more carbohydrates, which turns into me being probably illegally drunk on the sugar that I'm eating with food.
Probably.
So I'm hungover, probably.
Probably. That makes sense. Yeah, Mondays I would definitely say it's time. You get in your groove around Wednesday.
I'm a slow starter.
Then you only have it for a couple of days and then back at it.
I'm just trying to get to the weekend. And yet I don't do shit during the week a lot of times. But anyway, it's another story. Anyway, well, listen, it was just fucking lovely downloading with you today.
Oh, I was surprised you said me. I was waiting for you to say it was fucking fabulous downloading with me today.
That too. Until next time.
Until next time, we out.
We out.